All right, welcome back to Mindfulness How-Tos and the entire series on mindfulness practice, including Mindfulness 101 in level 1, mindfulness myth busting in level 2, and this third level and set of curriculum around actual mindfulness how-tos. How do we do this thing? Hopefully you have listened and watched those other trainings. They're a foundation of what is this thing called building a mindfulness or meditation practice, and why would I want to do it in the first place, and what are those benefits? And hopefully by now you've not only heard them, but you remember what those top 4 benefits are. And this time I'm not going to recap them as I did in the last mindfulness how-to training. I'm going to invite you to remember, to write them down, to embody them for yourself, and or to go back into the earlier trainings and find those 4 key and beyond benefits that you can be building as you build your own mindfulness practice. And instead, what I'm going to do right now, as Heather Ramsey, founder and head trainer of ReWired Worldwide and faculty member at Wevo Global Academy, I'm going to walk you through the next piece, the next concept on the road of building a mindfulness practice, which is about selecting your object of meditation when you're sitting or practicing either formally in stillness and silence, or in life, bebopping around the world. And so without further ado, I will remind you briefly of these beautiful pillars that we're building. The 2 main pillars that hold up the ceiling, the cathedral, the roof, the sky of our life and our practice: mindfulness and equanimity, allowing awareness and allowingness. Those are the 2 pillars. And then within that foundation, within that space, within that framework, then and only and after then do you select an object of meditation. I shared with you in some of the myth busting that I think the one called my object of meditation is better than your object of meditation. This great debate that I've ended, ideally, at least for you, if not across the planet. And yes, there are different objects of meditation, and each one has its merits and value, and each one of them you could get maximum meditation mileage from. So it, quote unquote, doesn't matter which one you select. Having said that, it is critical and crucial that you select something as your object of meditation to focus in on. And so let's take a look at that, because it's difficult to build an awareness of your mindfulness of nothing, or it's difficult to build your allowingness or equanimity of nothing. You need to select some object of meditation, something that you're choosing to focus on. So let me go over just a few possible, probable ones you've either heard about or maybe even practiced yourself, all of which of them have merit as examples. And then let me chunk up or give you a framework for a system of selecting your object of meditation that I believe will serve you very well for the rest of your life. And that's a big promise, yet I believe I can deliver within this one training. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the examples. So yes, one could say, or you may have even done, focus on a candle, the flickering flame of a candle. Completely valid. You would theoretically and probably practically have your eyes open for this type of meditation to see the candle. And you would be gazing at this. You may be practicing formally, so you're in stillness and in silence, yet your eyes are open and gazing at the flickering candle. And so it's the candlestick is still, yet the flame is active. And there's some beautiful dynamics there, beautiful benefits in building a practice with eyes open and building a practice of things both still and moving, because that's a part of living. There are things that are still and moving all day long, every day. And so for you to build your awareness of them and your allowingness of that change, that impermanence, are great skills to build always, and a completely valid object of meditation to select. Let's take a look at another one. a mantra. So you may have practiced or heard of, and transcendental meditators, for example, are known for selecting or giving you a custom mantra for you, or you may know, the sound of Om, the beginning and the end, the omega, the alpha and the omega. There are all kinds of mantras you could look up on the web, you may know of. They may bring you great joy. And as you not just make the sound of the mantra, and you build your mindfulness and equanimity, those two pillars again, allow yourself to be more aware of the sound of the mantra and more allowing of it. And because you may be saying it out loud, you may be aware of the physical sensation of saying the mantra, and or the auditory sensation of hearing the sound of the mantra through your own ears, and or on an audio that you may be sharing. So again, completely valid possibility or example of an object of meditation you may choose. A third, and perhaps the biggest go-to on planet Earth in terms of objects of meditation or mindfulness, is the breath. Another completely valid example or possibility of an object of meditation that you may choose to focus on. And of course, if you've read about, heard about, or practiced this at all, you know that there's many aspects, again, to the breath, just like there are to many aspects to watching a candle or saying and listening to a mantra. So the breath, you could focus on the sensation of the breath at the tip of your nostrils, going through your nasal passages, in expanding your lungs, expanding your lower abdomen in the case of deep breathing, and stretching your organs, your diaphragm, etc. All fantastic benefits. And in fact, one of the earlier trainings in Mindfulness 101, I shared 18 different benefits of deep breathing. Fantastic activity, physically, a fantastic activity for your biology and physiology, let alone if you twin that as an object of meditation and become more aware, mindful, and allowing, equanimous of the experience of breathing. Absolutely valid and fantastic. Now, let me go a little further, and let me say that, yes, these are completely valid examples of objects of meditation, and yet let me flip the perspective on them for a moment. Let me offer some contrast or some perspective on these, in that, yes, a candle is potentially something to watch, a mantra to listen to, a breath to experience or to feel, and yet they are only one scintilla, less than 1%. Or 0.001% of all the things that you will ever see, hear, or feel in a lifetime. And so I'm going to invite and suggest that there may be bigger categories that these are examples or a subset of. More specifically, a candle is an example of something in 100% of an example or a subset of 100% of all the things you'll ever see in your life. Likewise, a mantra is a subset or an example of a tiny example of all the things you'll ever hear in your life. And likewise, breath is an example of all the things you'll ever feel in your life. And so we have the categories that actually make up, and this is a bold statement, 100% of your entire experience of being human and alive. So as we dissolve for a moment the examples of candle, mantra, and breath, and we allow these three major categories or clusters to come into focus, into center space, you're looking at the building blocks, see, hear, and feel, as simple as I can offer it to you, and as simple as offered to me by Shinzen Young at shinzen.org, one of my teachers for over 21 years. See, hear, and feel at the core of, or making up, the three clusters that make up close to, if not 100%, of how you experience every single aspect of that you have, that you are right now, and you ever will experience in your entire life of being a human on planet Earth. That's a pretty big statement. And it's seemingly very simple three categories. Again, as Ernest Hemingway would say, if I'd take more time to write you a shorter letter. Well, we took the time, and here is the shorter letter of the three categories that you may want to become familiar with and cherry pick from and choose from when you choose your object of meditation. So in the very next training, I'm going to walk you through more specifically how you can select see, hear, and feel as objects of meditation for you. So I simply wanted to anchor these three as being the three clusters that make up close to, if not 100% of your entire human experience. So enjoy that it's so simple, enjoy that it's so complete, and until the next training, feel free to explore, what if I just focused on what I can see? What if I focused on just what I can hear? What if I focused on just what I can feel? And I know that may raise more questions, which will be answered for sure in the next training. And for now, let that be, until we meet again, let these be your choices of objects of meditation. So you're always, whatever object of meditation you're choosing, whether it's see, hear, or feel, you're always soaking them with mindfulness and equanimity. You're always building those muscles. You're always becoming more aware and more allowing of whatever your chosen object of meditation is. So good enough for now, hopefully leaving you with yet another step in a very clear, very mindfully laid out path for your freedom and wakefulness and consciousness and pleasure and joy from being a human being, as being a human being on this planet. And perhaps in our just last moment together, we can quietly for a few moments practice together, and that might be all you practice today, or I may be just kicking you off into your longer 5, 15, 30 mindfulness practice today. Either way is perfect, but let's just for a moment, if you're not already, if you're bebopping around as you're listening or watching to this, and you can stop for some stillness and silence. If you're driving, wait till you're finished or doing anything else like that. But if you have the ability to stop for a few moments and practice and invite and enjoy some stillness and silence, let's just for a few moments touch on each of them. Let's for a few moments with eyes softly open, just tune into and become more aware of all that you can see. You don't need to look around. You can, but you can just gaze straight on and you'd be amazed at how much your peripheral vision takes in. You might see the laptop, the wall behind you, the space around you. So soak what you see with an increased awareness and allowingness. Soak what you see with increased mindfulness and equanimity. Beautiful. And for just a few moments as well and together, let's shift our object of meditation to hearing. And for a few moments, let's share some stillness and silence together. In fact, the sound of my voice may be what you're focusing on hearing right now as your object of meditation. How aware can you be of my voice? How allowing can you be of receiving that sound into your ears or the vibration into your body? And if I'm not speaking, what other sounds, ambient sounds are around you? I actually have a chime that's blowing in the breeze outside that I can hear. You may hear traffic or heavy trucks going on, a child, a dog barking, the roll of your chair. What do you hear? Soak that with awareness, expanded awareness, and deeper allowingness. Less push or pull, no need to change or fix. Equanimity. And finally, let's shift one more time our object of meditation to feel. There are two aspects to this, both physical sensations that are not emotional in nature and physical sensations that are emotional in nature. We'll get into that in subsequent trainings. We'll keep it simple right now. Let's just focus on physical sensations. What do you notice? Your tush on the cush, so to speak, your tush on your chair, my elbows on my armrests, the slight leaning forward of my body and then as I shift it back and come back into full uprightness, a slump in your shoulders, a desire to roll them back. Whatever you're physically noticing, soak that with mindfulness, awareness, deeper awareness, and deeper allowingness or okayness. I have given you, in fact, whether you realize it or not, 3 ways to practice. You have 3 new objects of meditation, and we'll expand those in subsequent trainings. What you see, what you hear, or what you feel. So feel free, until we meet again, until the next training, to create time for your formal practice each day, as well as your practice in life as you're bopping around the world. To consciously select 1 or more of these, but 1 is great. For instance, what you're seeing or what you're hearing. And soak each moment with deeper awareness and deeper allowingness of what you're seeing, hearing, or feeling, whatever object of meditation you choose. That will get you maximum meditation mileage. That will build the foundation of human skills that lead to extraordinary benefits. And perhaps you're already starting to feel them now. Oh, I feel a little calmer, more peaceful, more aware, more awake, more conscious. Perhaps you're slightly agitated or wanting to finish or get up. Soak that with allowingness as well, because how we do anything is how we do everything. So you probably have some sort of angst or agitation in other areas of your life. Wow. What if you could soak them with more allowingness? Over time, you will be dissolving the unsupportive habit of anxiousness and or agitation or whatever might be less than supportive to you. And it will start to reduce and fade away. You are literally in the physical process of rewiring yourself for higher success and happiness. I'm excited for you. Feel free to continue on your practice right now, formal practice and or in life throughout your day, building deeper awareness and allowingness of whatever object of meditation you choose to focus on. See, hear, and feel, your 3 main categories to select from. Blessings, success, happiness. Heather Ramsey, ReWired Worldwide and Wevo Global, serving you every moment of the way.